was nearly away then.
That was nearly.
Well, good morning everybody and welcome back. I haven't gone back to Canada yet. I'm still here back home in the UK. Now it is actually my birthday today, so I wanted to go out with the camera. I forgot what I was saying now. I'm with my good friend Paul Thompson and Adrian. We're going to explore the Bodderdale Valley. Now we have came into this bit of woodland I photographed here last year, and we just wanted to see what it was like. Now the woodland itself, it still looks stunning, but there's no atmosphere, there's no hard hoarfrost or snow or anything like that, so it's looking a bit bland. Now the good reason for coming here today is it's going to be a bright blue sky day. We have got frost, so probably looking for those detail shots, those intimate scenes while we have got this blue sky. You never know, we might get a sunset later on. Now I've actually found a shot that I quite like, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to head over there, talk you through the shot and my reasoning for taking the shot. So I said today is going to be more of a detail shot day, looking for those smaller scenes within the bigger landscape because of that blue sky. We're catching some of the first of the light on the mountain behind, but that's actually reflecting into the water. And because you've got that darker area, there's some nice separation between the light and the dark towards the bottom of the image. We've got these branches of the trees leading over and they're reflecting into that water. So the idea that I've got is I'm going to go in really close with the 135mm 1.8. It's an abstract shot, you can get a lot more creative. I want to capture that motion in the water, and because you're getting that reflection, that's also going to move, so it's going to give the image some movement, and I just think it's a nice image to start the day. And then we'll just make our way down into the Bodderdale Valley and see what else we can come across. So I've just made my way down from where I got them first shots. It worked out really well. It showed that movement, you could see the reflection and the branches, and I just thought it was a different style of image to take. So I'm paying attention, came down to the water's edge here, and it looks great in the background because what you've got is you've got the silhouette of the trees at the other side of the river. It hasn't caught any of that light, so they're still in darkness. But on the mountainside, just beyond there, we've got the white of the snow at the top. We've got part where the snow's melted, so you can see the orange of the bracken behind. And behind the branches and silhouette of the tree, it just creates some really interesting colour and really stands out. Just a nice image to take. I'm just using part of the tree, and then you're going to see these branches leading over. Now, like before, I'm going to be shooting this with the Sony 135mm. Great focal length for what I'm wanting to capture here, and it works out really well. Not using a polarizer, no need for the polarizer for this shot at the moment. Two great little finds to start the day. You got some good shots there, Paul?
Oh, like one that I like, I think.
So Paul got one shot.
One shot to start us off, eh? I think it was.
Not bad for an amateur. Not bad for an amateur. So we're just heading on. We had a great time down there. Captured some images. Straight out the van and straight into some shots. That's what you want. You got to react quick. Just as this morning light's changing. So we're going to head further along this shoreline, see if we can come across anything else, and I'll get back to you. So we've came a little bit further along. We're down by the end of this part of the river. There's a bridge going over to the other side, so we might explore over there. But what's really attracted our attention at the minute is behind us. We're getting some nice light coming in over the mountain in the background there. The foreground and the trees behind there are still in the shade, so wanting to see how that materialises, see how that light changes. There's some nice compositions there with the trees on the mountainside itself. They're catching that light, but the trees in this part of the valley are still in the shade and some frost there, so I want to try that for an image. So tried for a couple of images there. Now the weather didn't materialise how we hoped, or should I say the light didn't. We were hoping for some rays of light to make its way in between that little valley there, just as the trees were catching the first of the light on that mountain peak. So we're actually heading back towards the van now. We're going to try and find a new area, a new location to photograph, but it's been a fabulous morning up to now, so we may continue. Seeing what Adrian's up to.
There's no light.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. We've got this bit of a beck here, and Adrian's spotted down below. We've got a thin sheet of ice, but we've actually got the plantation underneath, and it's standing out really clear because the ice isn't so thick. So there might be a shot here, I'm not so sure, but definitely worth checking out before we carry on. was nearly away then.
That was nearly, you were nearly a goner.
So we spent some time at the van, we had our coffee, and we've ventured further into Bodderdale Valley here. Now we came to this waterfall where we're at today. I came here last time and I didn't photograph any shots of it, I just didn't see anything at the time. The waterfall wasn't as frozen as I wanted, but today it's -6 and most of the water that's running down this mountain has frozen over, so I want to try for the couple of images here. All around us we've got different sections of this river. There's ice formations where it's all frozen, and with that it creates some really interesting patterns. So I'm looking for something that's different and stands out. I've came across this area here, some lovely details, some nice ice crystals, but you've got that dark water behind, so it's adding contrast. There's some nice differentiation between the ice and the darkness beyond that ice. It's also in the shade. I've got the bright sunlight on us now, so I'm looking for those little areas where we've got some nice amount of shade. So this first shot, I'm actually taking it with the 135mm. What a great lens it is, and I can see us using this lens a lot more in the future, not only for landscapes but for my street photography as well. But for that you'll have to wait till I return to Canada, but really excited to get out with it. And a nice first shot in the bag. I'm still getting that bright sunshine. Really pleased with the first few images I've captured, but I want to try and find one more. There's so much interest and variation amongst this riverbed where the ice has formed, and the good thing about it is everyone's been quiet. I haven't heard a peep out of Paul or Adrian in all the time that I've been here, and that's because you're able to explore, slow down and enjoy the moment. So it's time to get a bit more excited. I wanted to find something that really stood out, and I have found it just in this little pocket here. We've got some bubbles, almost bubble shaped ice formations leading to this little peak. It's like a little mini peak, and because I'm using the 135, it's really compressing the scene, but at the same time I've got this water running behind, so it's giving it some nice texture to the background. It's an absolute gem. Now I am going to take about 5 or 6 images. I'm going to focus stack this one because I am at 135mm. Really pleased with it, and I hope you like it. Now I'm also pleased with my muck boots that I've purchased. They're doing great. My feet are lovely and warm in these cold temperatures. They're dry, and it's been a great addition to my camera gear, so I'm really pleased with how these are working out. Now after I capture this shot, we are probably going to head back to the van, but what a location to explore, and everyone's thoroughly enjoyed it. So I've finally made it here up onto Latrig, and what can I say, the views are astonishing. Unfortunately we haven't got a lot of cloud cover, so I'm not too hopeful that we're going to get any of that light. It's just a perfect ending to a perfect trip. Got to meet up with Paul again and Adrian, and to top it off, just to be back in the Lake District before I head back to Canada is a cherry on the cake. We had the trip up to the Highlands of Scotland with James and Adrian. It was a memorable trip, and finish it off up here on Latrig today. So what we're actually going to do is we're just going to sit it out now, see what happens with this sunset, see if we can get any shots. I'll put the longer focal length on, but it has come to the end of today's video, and it's unfortunately it has come to the end of my trip back home in the UK. It's been a great way to finish off my birthday, it really has. So if you've enjoyed today's video, as always, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. But from me, until next time when I'll be back in Canada, thanks for watching, bye bye.